Hello viewers, in today's class we are going to discuss one important conceptual problem from integrals involving modulus function, right? So here we are going to solve this integral from 0 to pi by 4, and the integrand is mod of sine x minus cosine x, right? So this problem is going to be very useful for the beginners, right? So let us start. Now to solve this integral, let us first draw the graph of sine x and cosine x, right? Now the graph of sine x, it goes like this, right? So here we have 0 and here we have pi, right? So here we are drawing only the upper half, right? And now let us draw the graph of cosine x, right? So here we have plus 1 and the graph of cos x, it goes like this. So now here we have the point pi by 4, and this point is pi by 2, right? So this point is pi by 2. So now if we look at the graph of sine x and cosine x simultaneously, then we can see that sine x and cosine x intersect at this point, right? So let us call this point as P, right? So P is the point that is pi by 4, right? So at x is equal to pi by 4, sine x and cosine x intersect, and this concept is going to be useful for integrating this function from 0 to pi by 4. So now let us look at this interval that is 0 to pi by 4, right? So if we take this interval that is 0 to pi by 4, then we can see that this red curve, represents sine x, and the blue curve represents cosine x. So when we take this interval 0 to pi by 4, then we can see that this red curve, it lies below the blue curve, right? That is, sine x, it lies below cosine x, right? So this red curve, it lies below the blue curve. So we can conclude that sine x is less than cosine x in the interval 0 to pi by 4. So from the graph, we see that for x belonging to this interval, sine x is always less than cosine x, because this red curve, it lies below the blue curve, right? So by the definition of mod function, we know that mod of p is defined like this, that is, mod of p is positive p when p is greater than or equal to 0, and mod of p is minus p whenever p is less than 0, right? Now if we take here p as sine x minus cosine x, right? So we have here this inequality, that is sine x is less than cos x for this interval that is 0 to pi by 4. So now from this inequality, we can see that sine x minus cos x. If we take cos x to the left hand side, we have sine x minus cos x is less than 0, right? And sine x minus cos x, we are assuming it as p. So p is less than 0, right? So when p is less than 0, then mod of p is equal to negative p. So mod of p means p is sine x minus cos x, right? So mod of sine x minus cos x is negative of sine x minus cos x, right? So this is minus sine x plus cos x. So now this integral can be written as 0 to pi by 4, and we have minus sine x plus cos x, and here we have dx. So now we know that The integral of sine x is minus cos x, so we have minus minus cos x, and the integral of cosine x is sine x, right? And the limits of integration are from 0 to pi by 4. So this is minus minus plus, so we have cos x, and here we have sine x, then we have 0 to pi by 4, right? Now substituting the limits and taking the difference, we have cos pi by 4 plus sine pi by 4, and then we have minus cos of 0 plus sine of 0, right? So I is cos pi by 4 is 1 over root 2. This is sine pi by 4 is also 1 over root 2. And here we have cos of 0 is 1, sine 0 is 0, right? So this is 1 over root 2 plus 1 over root 2 is 2 over root 2 minus 1, right? So now if we rationalize 2 over root 2, then we have 2 root 2 over root 2 times root 2 minus 1. So this is 2 root 2 over 2 minus 1, that is equal to 2 and 2 get cancelled. So we are left with root 2 minus 1, right? So viewers, the value of this integral is square root of 2 minus 1.